if you are dealing with a breakup, separation, whatever, and you have circumstances that change in terms of the situation you're dealing with, and now you're questioning what you should or should not do, although you've already made a decision on what you should and or should not do based on what you want and don't want. Set those boundaries. What impedes my decision making most cannot be equated to mere indecision, yet rather, when making a decision, I choose as if there is no choice. I choose both. Thus, by approaching indifferences with an impartial judgment, I can acknowledge viability within the more lucrative option, while two, refraining from depreciating potential value within another, which then positions me adversely, as I am now conflicted with what I should do, while two, acknowledging what I could do. It is not that I am ignorant to the immediate value of one when in comparison to the other. It is evident that one alternative is likely better than the other given the system of judgment. Yet do I make an investment of sentiment or do I make an investment of reason? It's not a matter of making a decision, yet rather making the best decision, which I must admit, impartiality is slightly inferior to pragmatism, as equal treatment can become rather dismissive when producing definitive results. So boundaries. Boundaries acknowledge the liabilities and assets, which further solidifies definitencies, thus structuring better, if not the best, decision. So long story short, if you've been listening to the various content or the various videos that I have uploaded on this platform, you know that I have been dealing with a separation. And basically, my male significant withdrew his hand after I expressed to him how I did not love him in the way that he loved me. I loved him, yet I was not willing to fall in love with him because of how he loved me. So, after I told him that, obviously I could expect this to tarnish his pride or to, damage his ego in some way. So I was expecting him to retract himself for a moment. I gave him space to have space, yet he decided to extend this space for a month and a half to 2 months, at which we were estranged for a long periodically amount of time. So in that time, I began to develop a sense of clarity and I was able to make better decisions. Yet once I decided to make up my mind, or as I had these decisions, or as I had this decisiveness about, what I wanted to do moving forward, of course, the devil, because literally his zodiac, as it is represented in traditional tarot, is the devil. He is a Capricorn. So, typical devil. He decides that he wants to come back into my life on Valentine's Day, and he makes an appearance by just expressing to me how much I deserve appreciation on this day. And then 5 days ago, he decided to message me on Instagram, at which he deleted his message, and he told me how much he missed me and how much he wanted to see me, so on and so forth. And when you hear endearing sentiments like that, when you really get such a vulnerable response, it does trigger your heartstrings, or at least mine. As a Libra sun and Virgo moon, the Libra always wants to please others, and the Virgo moon always wants to nurture people and nurture relationships. So given that this relationship is of separation and there has been great dissonance in communication, it makes you reconsider your thoughts. It makes you reconsider your decisions. So I started to question how I felt, but honestly, I'm most affirm on the decisions that I've made, and I'm not going to change them because of my boundaries. I'm no longer giving second chances. That is a boundary that I made. So with him re-entering my life, what I'm questioning in terms of romance or friendship is no longer a question, because I am no longer giving second chances. So if you were once a significant and or otherwise, yet you are no longer of such influence, understand that you will never ever be afforded that opportunity again. That is my boundary. So you may remain of influence, yet you'll be less of significance. If you were once a friend, we are now acquaintances. If you were once a significant, quite like my male significant, you are now a friend, if not deduced or rather reduced to being an acquaintance if we cannot be friends. Another boundary that I have, I am no longer investing in potential, as there is no promise such capabilities will produce an equitable return. What I am investing in, what I am acknowledging, what I am accepting, is effort. So just setting boundaries for myself has afforded me decision. Being a bit more pragmatic than being impartial has afforded me comfort in my decision. I hate to say decision so frequently, but that's basically what it is. And I just wanted to share that for myself, but I also wanted to share it for others. If you are dealing with a breakup, separation, whatever, and you have circumstances that change in terms of the situation you're dealing with, and now you're questioning what you should or should not do, although you've already made a decision on what you should and or should not do based on what you want and don't want. Set those boundaries. And when setting your boundaries, that's when you acknowledge what I want and what I don't want. And acknowledging these things, like I said, you set your boundaries, and if your boundaries are in place, you know where you need to go and where you don't need to go, because you already know what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want, and your boundaries align to your next step. So yeah, I just wanted to say that because I was really riddling myself, oh my god, do I really like it? No, you don't.